We are back with a very special episode of Rapid Tech in 10, where we give you tech-related takeaways in 10 minutes or less. I am your SoftwareOne host, Brie LeMay, and joining me, we have not one, but three fantastic guests who I'm extremely excited to have introduce themselves. Gentlemen, could you please introduce yourselves for our viewers before we get started?
Sure, I'll go first. This is Kevin Bernstein. I'm the Global Practice Director of Adoption Change Management here at SoftwareOne.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Dan Ortman. I lead our demand and need capture organization at SoftwareOne globally, as well as look after FinOps globally for our strategy.
Amazing.
Hi, I'm Nick Richards. I'm the General Manager of Customer Experience.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here. So as we approach the end of the year, we've all been reflecting a lot on 2023. We do this every year, but we can confidently say there have been a few consistent themes throughout this year. We heard a lot about adaptive AI, Gen AI, sustainability, financial optimization, cloud computing, just to name a few. But what about this year ahead? So Kevin, Dan, and Nick, I'd love to hear each of your predictions when it comes to technology as we move into 2024.
So I'll go first. So for me, it cuts across four different dimensions. First of all, there's going to be I think there's a lot of pressure in changing roles. I think the role of a CIO and CTO is going to have to change into a much more strategic and collaborative role, connecting better with the business, understanding business outcomes, being able to drive the solutions. That world is changing. The roles are changing. That's going to also put some pressure on the different skill sets that people have. Another dimension would be the AI. I call it the AI backstory. AI is the buzz right now, but the backstory is we still have to pay attention to the fundamentals, the absolute fundamentals of IT that cuts across security, governance, infrastructure modernization. All of those things didn't go away just because we're talking about the new shiny object of AI. So that's a big deal. Another one would be AI ethics, rules, and regulations. It's a rapidly changing landscape right now, and there's governmental pressures, regional pressures. We have to get this right. We have a responsibility to get this right. So that's going to be a big topic in 2024. And then the last thing I can say is my prediction is that the game is changing around cybersecurity and cybercrime. I think that the attack surfaces have changed. The AI sophistication into the security risks are growing exponentially, and I think that organizations are really going to have to face this. Granted, that could go into the backstory part, but I really think that's a big part of the story.
Yeah. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, Kevin, I would echo a lot of those things. I came up with 5 things. I'll try to run through them quickly, but AI is the obvious one. It got started this year, but there's still a long way to go. And it's, AI, it's obvious, but it's all the meat behind it. And that can go into a lot of things. Kevin, you already named some of them, so I won't re-go into that. But 2 for me is data. So, I think we'll go from data being we might have to keep it because of compliance to now it's a critical asset. And it'll be looked as an asset much differently than it has in the past. That's the only way AI is going to work. IT skill gap kind of goes into a little bit of what Kevin was mentioning there as well. But I was reading a Skillsoft, some of their statistics, and 43% of IT teams said their AI and ML skill set was low. And the same article was saying 1 out of 3 IT leaders are struggling to hire somebody in AI and ML. So if we're just getting started and everybody's already saying that, imagine 2024, how hard it's going to be to find those people. App modernization is the next one for me. I really like a term, data modernization. App modernization's gotten hot. It's going to be hot in 2024, no doubt about it. A lot of people did lift and shift. They're going to have to modernize. That's not going to go away. But what about data modernization? How are we modernizing how we access data, how we present data back to users? How are we securing it? How are we managing it? So I think data modernization will be one of my predictions. And then finally, I can't be on here and not mention FinOps. So my last prediction FinOps will massively mature in 2024. It's going to go from where a lot of people are in a crawl or maybe a walk state today to across the framework, there'll be a lot more components that'll be in a run state, more automation, better reporting, better automation even around storage tiering or Kubernetes and containers. Like, we're going to get smarter about how we're optimizing spend in the cloud, I think, in 2024.
Did we hear that the cloud detectives may not be going away just because it's 2023?
Cloud detective is here to stay.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. And last but not least, Nick, what do you think 2024 is going to bring?
Yeah, so I'll start with the prediction that you won't hear any predictions anywhere this year that don't include the term AI, and mine's no different. We're all going to use it because of the rapid evolution, right? And I think this year, Gen AI will advance quickly, not as a foundational platform, but really more as a feature of some of the products and services, right? So currently, Gen AI really struggles from a bit of a jack of all trades identity problem. But I see a lot of software vendors, product companies incorporating generative AI into their products, which really help eliminate the need for us to come up with those use cases. They're embedding into the products that we're already using and familiar with. It's a smaller leap to adoption. And those creative features are going to drive a lot of productivity and help us understand what Gen AI is truly capable of. Second prediction, the term NLI will become a more common term. So I think this is a combo of user interface, UI, and natural language understanding, NLUs, to create the natural language interface. So the whole problem was, we have the UIs that are the customer's experience as they engage with you. You have the natural language understanding, is the way we interpret what the customer is asking for. Well, with Gen AI, data integrations, all the advancements of the last few years, we're really reaching an inflection point where that allows us to move away from those static experiences and create very personal, dynamic experiences by better using that data that we have in CRMs and other data systems and using all those integrations, right? So we're going to see a rapid advancement in personalization, namely contextual personalization. And within the call center, agent assistance really becomes table stakes as a result. So what was one of the primary trends for us in contact centers is going to become well, duh, you kind of got to do that just to get in the door, right? Then third and final, I think there's going to be a focus on defining and actually measuring the outcomes on our business investments. As we get economic pressures, a lot of companies make big investments without really tying that back to business value. I believe the clock is starting to run out on that, particularly as people are getting more visibility, more scrutiny on those investments. So I see organizations shifting more towards usage-based and outcomes-based investments rather than on just big rip and replace, let's spend a lot of money without measuring the actual value.
Yeah, those are really great. Thanks for touching on those. And thank you all for the valuable insights and time today. We're really excited to see these predictions evolve. I know our teams are ready to work with all of you as we work into the new year. So we're here to help you with every step of the way. To learn more about how you can craft a plan and stay ahead with these predictions, let's get in touch. Visit the link in the comments below. Thanks so much, team.
Thank you.